Hello everyone, welcome to the first episode of Retro ARG! Now you may ask yourself, Noah, why does it have the ARG at the end? Are you some failed pirate wannabe? No, that is a sound that I normally make when I fail at every single game that I've ever played. Yes. Good times. Not really. So, the first game I'm wanting to talk about is Final Fantasy, the first one that came out in 1987 by Square Enix. It's, the NES version. Like, what can go wrong with that? Considering that it's only the first time I've ever played it just a few days ago. Now, I'm not going to lie, I feel pretty bad about that. Growing up, I was a 90s kid, I was born in 1990. The first ever Final Fantasy game I have played was Final Fantasy VII. It was the first ever game I sneaked away from my dad after watching him play it over and over again. I wanted to play it over and over again. And Janine, my big sister, would read the dialogue out to me in funny voices. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty fantastic. Anyway, I went out and I've recently just got an NES, and the first thing I plugged in was Final Fantasy. I wanted to go back to the roots of one of my favourite games ever created. It's one of my favourite series really that I always go back to whenever I want to play something. So the game starts and I'm instantly excited. It starts telling me the story, crystals, evil, and light warriors. I was like, sweet, okay, cool, sounds good. Let me tell you, only now do I realise that games these days compared to back then, they hold your hand. They really do hold your hand. Like, I get lost so easily on any sort of game, doesn't matter what kind of game it is. I get lost, so not having a map on the screen was a bit like, oh shit, this is gonna be a long one. But I was actually okay on it, And considering that I needed to grind a hell of a lot on this game, it was alright. So the first thing that I did was I instantly bought weapons and armor and some spells, the cure, the fire. I go to the castle, talk to the king. He's all, you gotta go find the princess, you gotta go find and save the princess in the north. I was like, okay, cool beans, so good, still part of the story, everything's fine. So I'm going to the castle, I'm fighting all these monsters. Running does not work. So I'm fighting all these monsters and I come across and I'm like, shit, I am so weak. I'm only doing like 1 damage, which fucking sucks. And I'm taking loads of damage in return. Anyway, I get to the boss and somehow I magically beat him. I'm so happy. Like, I thought it was going to be like this massive, horrible massacre. Anyway, at this point, I've been playing the game for about 35 minutes because it's taken me so long to kind of fight the monsters and so on. And I go into the menu, and I see the word equipped. And I press it, and I realise this whole about half an hour, 35 minutes, nothing was equipped. Not the armour, not the weapons. So basically, I've been fisting all these monsters to death. And I'm pretty happy because I fisted the boss to death. Fuck yes. Continuing on, the princess magically teleports us back to the castle, and the bitch couldn't even do it at the beginning. But you know what, it's all part of the story, it's fine. And the king is so happy, and he builds a bridge for us because he's a fucking nice guy like that. Yep, very nice man. And it gets to a point where I cross the bridge. And I've not felt something like this for such a long ass time with the game. A little intro starts, and it takes me like a second or so for it to kind of kick in, which felt like a fucking long ass time as well. And it was like, now the game begins. And I was like, holy shit. I'm even more pumped up. I'm like, oh my fucking god. Anyway, I am officially in love with this game. Though I'm still kind of peeved that I did most of the 35 minutes with nothing equipped, fisting everything and everyone around me. But you know what? I learned through my mistakes, and I've learnt now. I have learnt now. The thing that I've mainly learned from Final Fantasy in the game is that it does make you think. In fights, you can't just hold down the A button because attacks do not automatically go to the next monster when your targeted monster is, as it says, terminated. And then if you do that and the other monster's dead, it's then for ineffective. The run option does not work. I have tried this and I have died repeatedly. Some spells are broken, they do not work, and if they do work, not as the way they should. A list will be in the description. The only way you can save is either through the inn or getting a tent, cabin or house, which is all expensive, which brings me up to that everything is expensive. Makes you grind so I can buy that fucking shit and eventually equip it after a long ass time. And if I had to like rate this game out of my little heart monitor, it would be 4 out of 5. The reason why it's 4 out of 5 is because there's so many little tiny little things that are broken, like the running, some of the spells don't work, and if they do work, it's one is above what it does, it reverses it, and it's just like, no, why is this happening to me? I do have actually some questions for you guys. Number 1, what's your thoughts and first experience when you first played this game? The second one is, what do you think of my little score, 4 out of 5? What would you rate yours as? And lastly, what should I try next? You can message me on Twitter at Noesberry, that's Noesberry, and you can catch me live on Twitch as Noesberry 1060. You gotta remember that 1060, I just like to be awkward like that. And I hope to hear from you soon. Stay awesome, I'll catch you next week, and goodbye!